Alright, so we're going to do a AP Micro FRQ for factor markets. So here we go. Raise Stable hires workers on a perfectly competitive factor market. Using correctly labeled side-by-side graphs for a labor market and Raise Stable show each of the following. The equilibrium wage for labor, labeled WE and QE, and the wage paid by Raise Stable and the quantity of labor hired. Right. So now we can do we want the market versus actual array. So I'm just going to write A. And we know that for the market, it's going to look very similar to a normal supply and demand graph. So we have our demand D and our supply S. And so now where they are equilibrium, so I'm just going to call this boom. And so this is going to be QE. This is QE. I should also probably label this. So this is, we are not selling people. So they're not prices, they're wages. And then we're going to do quantity. And this is labor, so I'm going to do Q sub L. That should be fine. And then here is not the price, but the wage. And they said WE here. So WE. And then, so this is going to be the firm, or this is going to be the market. So I'll write market. So because this is a perfectly competitive, we can kind of just draw this line over and call this, what do they want? WR. So I'm going to draw W. Let's do this. WR. And then we will have our downward sloping graph for our revenue product. So marginal revenue product for raised stables. And so then we can, so now we have our wage for raised stables and our quantity for raised stables, because that is where they intersect QR. And so we should probably write quantity, I'll do this in white, Q sub L, and wage. Okay. So I think that is everything we need. So is the marginal factor costs of unskilled labor equal to or less than or greater than WE? So this is in a perfect competition for outputs. this would be our demand curve, but it is a factor market, so this is actually our supply curve. So our wage, WE, so it's comparing it to the market versus here. But this this is like our demand curve, if you will. And so this is our revenue product. And so we have our cost, but instead of marginal cost, is called factor cost, so MFC. So we now have our revenue product and our factor cost. And so we can actually say for part B here that it is the same. And it does say explain, so is equal to, because let's use the words of the prompt just in case. Equal WE is equal to equal EQUAL to MFC for raise works. MFC for raise stables is equal to MFC for raised stables because they basically take the wage of the market, and so their cost is going to be the same as the equilibrium wage. Their wage is the same as the market wage. They are a wage taker. Raise stables it does not have the S, so I'm just going to remove it, is a wage taker. They take this wage and just roll with it. Alright, now, part C. Now assume the government imposes a effective minimum wage. Okay, so show the minimum wage, so let's draw it up here. And we need to label it W min. I guess we're gonna have to write bigger. W min, there we go. And so now we can just boom, boom, boom. That looks like a curve. Let's try and draw a straight line. Sure. And so and then we'll do it over here, just in case. Because it's going to transfer over to our raised tables. Raised table. So they didn't say to label it, but I'll do it. Just to make sure they have every reason to not take off points. W min. That looks like squiggles, but the point is across. And that's actually not a dashed line, this is going to be a solid line. Okay, so now it says on the labor market, show the quantity QS. So let's just drop down from where it hits the thing. So this is QS. There we go. Where it just intersects the supply curve. As a result of the new minimum wage, or the marginal revenue, so I'll write B, no, C, I, I, well, the marginal revenue product of the lost worker hired, it will increase because there is a minimum wage, and so the revenue is higher because it doesn't say explain, so I'm just gonna say it will increase. And so it doesn't say explain, and so I'm not going to explain because I don't want them to take off points if I just have an explanation that's wrong but my answer is right. But the explanation is, so the revenue product, we have now the next worker, right? When that guy shows up, the wage right here is actually, or the revenue product is higher. And so the marginal revenue product for the next person is higher. It's as simple as that. And so that was an FRQ for factor markets.